In ages long past, and an age yet to come, I asked my audience, let me roast your bookshelves, and many of you responded. This turned into my most successful video series of all time. That's right, bookshelf roasts have been, performance-wise, the strongest contenders on the channel ever. Something I thought would be a one-time joke is now a serious part of my future. My God. But I'm excited to once again here today get into roasting your shelves. And before I do so, I want to quickly say, Rebels Creed will be... Siri, stop doing what you're doing. Rebels Creed will be available October 29th. Feel free to pre-order it in the links down below. It would mean the world to me if you did. The sequel to Breach of Peace has already had its first reviews. They've been pretty good, so I'm happy. And also, this video might be more minimally edited than what I typically do, and I apologize for that. My wrist hurts quite a bit from editing a Please Dear God Don't Be a Bomb that took quite the amount of time, and carpal tunnel sucks. So if you are interested in possibly being a video editor for me, which I might need to occasionally use, send me an email. It's listed on my channel. If you can match my style of chaotic weirdness, then you might be someone I occasionally throw a project to. Yay. Just please, dear God, don't be a bomb, and also include references and like examples of your work. But let us begin the first bookshelf roast. My father has been wanting me to roast his shelves since this series started, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. Starting with pointing out the fact that yes, he has a Funko Pop, and I think he literally bought it just to bother me and put on his shelves. That's the kind of man my father is. I appreciate it, but I can't roast it anymore because Chapachu means that I would be a hypocrite. And if there's one thing I am, it's definitely a hypocrite, but I'm not going to be that overt about it. He also has a chess set, which brings back tons of memories for me with my father and I playing chess, so enjoy that. And he put the pupper in there because I asked him to. I was like, hey Dad, if you're going to send me a shot of your shelves, show me Cash. And he's the goodest boy. I love Cash so much. And in terms of like shelf decor, he's got copies of Rebels Creed, links down below if you want to pre-order it, available October 29th. He's got a picture of himself with a civil rights icon in John Lewis. And trains. It's a beautiful shelf in terms of the things on the shelf. But father, white shelves are grotesque. And if I'm gonna be honest, I know you well enough to know the only reasons these still look so clean and dust-free is because of how much of a clean freak you are. You are taking a gamble here with pitch white shelves that you are going to continue to clean them all the time to avoid a dusty, scuffed look, and that's just a risky way to live. Add on top of that the amazing amount of CDs along the bottom, and it gives off a vibe of someone who cannot accept the fact that those CDs are now worthless due to all this music being available everywhere else, and no, they're not going to become major collector's items. You're hanging on to the past and should just trash them, but you won't, because they're sentimental to you. Now oh my God, I know him too well. This feels personal. Ugh. And I have like so many memories with all this stuff because it's my dad's. Like I've fallen asleep in that chair. How do I roast this? The wooden chairs that you put there to play chess on aren't that comfortable, so by the end of the game, you're kind of sore. Boom, roasted. I think. I'm too connected. There's sentimental value here. We gotta move on. I love you, Dad. B+ shelf.
Hey Ben, I can see here, like most of the comedy on your YouTube channel, these books indeed fall flat. Wonderful spoopy Halloween decorations, thumbs up, love it. Globes, even better. The sides stacked, all right, I'll forgive it. The staggered shelves, I don't love it. B, why does your dog look like it wants me to rescue it? I'm calling pet services out of 10. All right, and this person is probably wanted for murder in several states. I cannot look at the shelf. I can just look at the massive amount of the creepiest dolls I've ever seen in my life. This genuinely looks like you went into not a doll shop, a, hey, I want these to come to life and murder me in my sleep one day shop. Holy Jesus Christ, how does someone live in this house?
Okay, this shelf on surface value is quite nice. I want to go ahead and say you've separated out the Blu-rays to their own private shelf, which is completely fine, and I enjoy that. That's a good quality way to have your shelves organized. There's no egregious stacking here aside from the leaners, but that's all right. I got some stuff going on my shelf right now due to the amount of books being sent to me that I'm not proud of. But what I will make fun of dearly, aside from the ghost you've decided to put in a BDSM trap, not sure what he did to you, but all right, is we have Say Yes to the Adventure proudly emblazoned on a sign, which I don't know if you know this, is the fantasy nerd equivalent of Live, Laugh, Love. which I now assume is emblazoned on your tiles in your kitchen. This is very aesthetically nice on surface value. I like a floating shelf. The little like sub-floating shelf below it kind of sets up this like dom-sub relationship that I'm not too sure about, but you do you. I also enjoy the Fae. It actually comes across quite nice. It's a good aesthetic, but you've totally fallen apart in the details, where there's some books that are literally upside down, which shows me you actually are very much so into an aesthetic, but when it comes to the finer detailed work, you're not necessarily going to be there. And so it makes me think, if you're the kind of person who's like handing in an assignment, a good chunk of it is just going to be slightly reworded like Wikipedia articles, just enough for you not to be caught for plagiarizing. You have the cameras on there, you're trying really hard to like be hipstery, but not a hipster. It's a balance that really just like opens up your inner psyche. And I will say, if you ever see a therapist, just send them this photo and they'll know what they're getting into. C+ for the aesthetic. This is a very beautiful shelf. It's high effort, the lights, not my taste exactly. I prefer a more backlit kind of thing than having the lights up front, but you know, to each their own. I've made that criticism before. I kind of wish you would raise the shelves a little so you could fit another one along the bottom. It's kind of weird how much headspace these have. The only thing that's bothering me is, why is there a piano coming off at an angle? What is the room is there just a piano in the middle of your room that's taking up, just put it against the wall? Why is it? I don't know what's happening here anymore. You have some wizard staffs, which, you know, that's cute. I noticed none of them have like ram's horns on top of them or anything. Someone just sent me that. I don't know if it's a real ram's horn, and I really hope it's not, because it'll bother me endlessly if it is. Good book collection. By the way, if you're gonna roast someone's shelves, roast the shelf. Don't roast their book collection necessarily. It's just like, don't be that guy. Overall, I'm gonna give this a B. I like its kind of minimal approach. It's very reflective of you, and the finer details are there, which is something I appreciate. And the knick-knackage is flawless. Oh, and there's a rose. Aww. Oh, wow. Then I saw your second shelf, and I imagine you present a very pleasant personality, and then you have this dark demon you hide inside that's reflected in the shelf. This is just cats cuddling with Dune. A+, clearly the best shelf of the day. Wow. This is a gorgeous layout, and it's well organized, high effort. I appreciate this on so many levels. This is a stunning shelf, and I don't want to make fun of it. This is just someone who clearly has a passion that they have put a lot of themselves and personality into. The knackage is balanced, the colors are even well put together. The Blu-rays are there, but they're put to the side. You have like sections, and this is stunning. A+. This is a prime example of why lighting your shelves is crucial, with just cheap little stick-on lights you can put places, because this would be an outstanding display that I deeply enjoy, but because of this overhead shadow, it now is like the type of shot you see in a movie when someone's like being sinister and lying to you. So I'm pretty sure your bookshelf assassinated JFK. Also, what are you hiding along the bottom here that you tried to like cut off? Are these like creation porn movies? This looks very odd. You've intrigued me. B-. I just realized we're going to be getting spoopy decorations on shelves because it's October, and that makes me so happy. I love your pumpkins. I love your ghosts. Remember how I said don't roast people's bookshelf content? To each their own. To each their own. To each their own. C+ shelf. Wow. This is fascinating. I love this look into your life. We have Legos, which are always a plus for me. Huge Lego fan. The only problem is that there's just straight up empty space all over the place, which, I don't know, are you hollow as a person? How many people love that? Was too harsh. Anyway, I really like this. It just needs to be worked on structurally. This is maybe the most exciting shelf of the day. It's got a lot of potential, but it hasn't reached it yet. So we're gonna average you out to a C, but you're gonna get there. And here's the thing. Biggest piece of advice for anyone who's just getting started in their shelf. Don't rush it. Take your time to fill it out. You don't wanna have things in there that you're like, about. Put things that matter in your bookshelf if you're going to, that aren't books. Make sure the knackage is your soul's knackage. Oh my god, that's a penis. There's the penis, and there's a little penis. There's penis. It's one bigger, blacker penis on top of a very small white penis. No, that's not even like joke. That is genuinely, you have dicks on. I don't know, it's such a small penis. It's such a good sized penis. A+, it's dominant. This just dominated the entire video. What the I didn't see anything else on that shelf I can't tell you even what the color of the shelves was. That, oh my god. I assume there's someone tied up just off screen. That's the vibe I got. I don't know why. I can't put my thumb on it. But the person who posted this definitely has someone tied up in their basement. Why am I such a sucker for this? It's books. It's a bookshelf by a bed, which just talk about convenient. I imagine like having the flu, not wanting to get up to go to a shelf to like actually get something because you're tired and you're sick. And you're like, oh yeah, I can just roll on over and grab a book. Fantastic. The slant, love it. The books there, love them. Good pupper. It needs a little more filling out, a tiny bit more effort. I'm gonna give you a solid B- with easy potential for A+. I mean, that's just gorgeous. This is a college dorm shelf, and if it's not, I like, oh, the T-Rex. Oh, I love me some T-Rexage. I also like the Warhammer 40K. The little owl's adorable. I would like more books here. It seems you're a little more into the aesthetic of having the shelf than finding books to fill it on out. Also, like, this is clearly someone who's just starting their book collection, so keep at it. This will be great. You'll need a new shelf. You'll get more books. You'll fill it on out. You'll move out of where you're at. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is a solid. I like it, but it's not even your final form, so I'm not going to rate it. Some of you guys need to learn how to take photographs, and that's coming from me, someone who does not know how to take photographs. And this is, again, not a bookshelf. This is I put things here that I don't know where to put them, and I tried to make it look good, and then I gave up because effort, and now it's just a giant pile of mess. This is a D. Please take the 20 minutes it'll take to make this look great. This shelf looks fine until you actually take a deeper look, and then problems emerge. I already don't know why, but I want to say this. If you don't already have children, you will have children in the future, and they will make this shelf way more messy. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but I do. Cable management. This is literally the least excusable lack of cable management I've ever seen. Because it's on a bookshelf, you can hide that wire with so many things, as well as this much more egregious wire. Why? Just hide them. What? This lack of effort. The lack of effort! And it's also flabbergasting because there's so much effort clearly elsewhere. Also, Cards Against Humanity, massive. Really? You're one of the people who likes Cards Against Humanity still? It's just not that fun of a game. Stop pretending it is. Let me show you how every Cards Against Humanity game ends. Oh, we're on our phone now and not paying that much attention because this game's actually not that fun because it's based entirely off of haha penis and then moving on. Oh no, this series is based off haha penis. Don't connect those. Okay. I generally do not like these like weird half off check shelves things. That they're not my favorite. But you have the happiest bean I've ever seen in my life, and I'm always telling people they're sweet or happy beans, and this is literally the happiest bean. So I gotta give you mad props for that. It's also got a good level of knackage. There's one Funko Pop, but again, I can no longer continue the hate because of Chapachu here. All right, but for the love of God, stop just printing things out and putting them on your wall. Get frames. They make it look a million times better. This looks like a high schooler's room. And if you're in high school, fine. But if you want to look more mature and a little bit better for your age, get tiny little frames. Go to Michael's, pick them up. They have them on sale all the time. Cost you so little money. I thought there was no way anyone could surprise me with their shelves again. I saw mold growing out of the bottom of a shelf, so I was like, there's no way. I've seen it all. But now you've put books in a glass sarcophagus that make me think of a mummy I saw in the Richmond Art Museum. What? And then there's like a witch doll over it that would haunt my nightmares if I was a child. No, it's still gonna haunt them. And then there's a crown and a shoebox. What is happening here? Are you gonna do like a religious sacrifice of books? This is a D-, but also this is the start of a horror. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. This person 1000% masturbates to hentai. You're trying so desperately to fill out space, and even with the lack of space still showing, the covers you have on display are doing a fantastic job of distracting from the massive amounts of space. For the love of all that is holy, drill a tiny hole in the back of your shelf, put the wire through the back and around underneath. That way we don't have to see this gigantic wire ruining the entire appeal of something that was extremely impressive until that fatal flaw showed up. D. The battery died whilst I was in the middle of a roast, and so I lost my flow whilst I was roasting you. But it's not hard. Put a drill hole in your shelf. It's so easy. I'm disappointed in you as a father. Remember, it's better to have a more empty shelf you're compensating with that has potential than a shelf that's crowded with crap you don't actually like that much. Hey! Someone likes Pinterest. Looking at this, makes me think you don't wash your hands after you go number 1. You do after number 2, but not after number 1, so I won't be shaking your hand. I don't like this staggered randomness. It's also too much vertically, I feel like, but it is extremely well done. I'm gonna give you a C+ because I'm willing to put my own prejudice aside, but always these shelves result in so much side stacking, and I have a really hard time forgiving it. Okay, you know how I said I like plant life? I don't want Jurassic Park on my shelves. Also, is that a Funko Pop of George Lucas? Why? C+ out of curiosity, and I really like the Pokeball. I don't know why I know this, but one day, that knife will end up embedded inside you. Simply stunning. Gorgeous, outstanding, and the color combined with the black shelves. Oh, this is flawless. Lego Baby Yoda will haunt my nightmares. He looks simultaneously furious and disappointed in me. Wow, I do not like that. I like all this. The giant Lego's fun, but that Baby Yoda, holy snapples, he's terrifying, and I'm gonna give that a new paralysis demon out of 10. This somehow, even though it's in your personal home, looks like an OSHA violation. This will fall on you one day, and people will find your corpse being eaten by your pets a week after you die. Okay, the cats in the shelves, immediately A+. Plantage is outstanding. The layout and color scheme is flawless. Some ciders, solid A. The cat's actually A+. This is the shelf of someone who's just tired. This is someone who's lived a long life, and they need a long vacation, and I want to give them a hug. There's a chair that I cannot access with a very nice shelf. The shelf is fine. The room's a fire hazard, so you're gonna die from fire. Let me say this as clearly as I can. Do not put the bulbs of the lights on the front of the shelf, because any backlighting gets immediately washed out by it. It is an eyesore and it's distracting. You put lights behind and then maybe reflect the light back in so it has a nice diffused look. This direct light on the eye, it just pulls me away from the books. And what you want the attention on is the books, right? Needs improvement. See, you know I don't care about your bookshelf. You know sending me this photo, I'm immediately drawn to the saw blade on your wall, it looks like, as well as a conspiracy theory map that I assume has some relevance to you. I didn't know this is a real thing. People actually do the string thing. I always thought that was supposed to be like more metaphorical or just like a device Hollywood uses to like emphasize investigation. What possible use does this have? How does the string, especially this many, you can't even visually keep 0 out of 10. I haven't touched a Funko Pop in my life. I'll give you an A+. Okay. Someone's competing for the A+. They have the plant life. They have no leaners. They have some side stacking. So that's a bit upsetting, but I'm not that mad about it. And then I come to their other shelf, and why did I just immediately imagine someone opening your window and then just like slowly stealing your books like a little book gremlin, just kind of taking them all home? I love that. Oh my god, I want to do that. I want to steal your books. This is inviting thieves. B+, because I like it. It's fine. It's got some leaners and stuff, so it's whatever. It gives me a story, which is someone coming in and stealing your books in the middle of the night. This is fun. B+. This is a whimsical place I want to get lost in. I want to spend a day in front of this shelf just reading. The light, the plants. Yes, it's not the most organized thing. I think there's some double stacking even, but there's something. This is what photography can do for you. This is what someone who knows how to take a shot can tantalize me with. This is why some of you need to learn how to compose a shot. B+ for the illusion. I assume you're in your 60s. You literally have like a yarn spinning thing down here. Giant cat tree, which I like, but you didn't include the cat marks off. The chair looks so violently uncomfortable, I don't know what to say, as well as the couch. And the table I thought was just super spilled on, but that's space stuff. I'll give you
B-. Literally an army of Funko Pops, specifically Harry Potter ones, to the point where I went, oh, that's the Weasley clan, so that's a choice. And it's literally almost entirely Leaners and Ciders. Wow, that's like effort to make me upset. D. And we'll end it with Amanda the Jedi, who, you have to give it 10 because your book is on top. First of all, no, it's not. My book has a mask on top of it. There's also something, what's on your floor? What is that? There's a bag underneath, like, it looks like a small car door. You have the Zodiac book, which okay, we need to talk about that. Your YouTube backdrop is pretty nice. Is the rest of your house like this? Are you one of these YouTubers who has like a really nice shot and then the rest of your life is chaos? Because if so, didn't call that. Like your content. There's some effort put in on the surface level, but no depth. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't mean that. Your content's great. But this is currently an F. This is absolutely an F, because this is what I expect. Like Matthew McConaughey in True Detective, this is the bookshelf I expect him to have. Especially because the Zodiac book, my God. F!